Alright, so for this part you're going to need a crescent wrench, a 5/16 and a 3/8 wrench. So first thing you do is take your crescent wrench and put it right there on this plastic piece. Alright, set your 5/16 down, go to your 3/8. Mine's already kind of loose because I did that ahead of time. Yours won't be loose. Alright. Alright, so if you notice here, you've got thread sealant on there, so when you're reinstalling this, make sure you use thread sealant on it. So that's it for your 3/8. You'll notice this part here is loose. Alright, grab your 5/16. Okay, I lost visual, but let me see if I can get, oh, there we go, I got my visual back. You'll notice that this thing kind of free spins, right? So how in the world are you supposed to loosen the cable if it just freely spins like that? Because you have to get this metal piece off, right? So how in the world is that going to come off? And the answer is like this. So if you notice as I'm spinning it, this is coming out further and further. Alright. And you can kind of see back here, as I do that, this moves freely. So you can kind of see how the action works here. So anyway, you guessed it. You'll see here, obviously don't mess with the threaded piece. Just grab right there. Grab your 5/16. Okay, and that's it. This is a little piece of, it's a brass piece. Looking at the threads, there's no sealant on that, but probably would put some on it anyway. If you notice when I grabbed on it, I didn't grab on it very hard. Didn't leave any marks, just for reference. And this piece is threaded on. So what you'll do is just thread it off. Okay. And that's it for that piece. Alright, we'll set that down. So now we have just the bare cable. So you're wondering, how do I get the cable itself off here? And the easiest way to figure it out is look at the new cable. So we're not gonna worry about that side, but look over here. We got threads, right? And then we have the long rod, which simulates what we have over here. So, okay guys, so I'm gonna pull out a little bit. You can kind of see which side I'm on. You'll see right there, that's the whole reason why I'm replacing the ship cable. I've got that fray in there, so I'm going to replace the whole thing. But you can kind of see that 3/4 nut right there. So this is the old cable. You can put a crow's foot on it, or if you want to spend a few hours, or use like a half, wrench. Basically just cut a wrench in half and try to stick it in there and work it loose. That's cool. Just take a pair of pliers, like 10 snips here. Save yourself some time and just cut the old one off. There's no reason to save it. So I know it sounds crazy, but you're gonna save a lot of time if you just go in there, snip it off, and use a 3/4 socket. This thing will come off super fast. Otherwise, you're going to be in there trying to spin that thing off. If you're using this in salt water, it's probably corroded. Mine's fresh water only, so it's pretty easy. But you're gonna really thank me later on if you just snip that cable off right there. All right, so I'm gonna snip it off and get a 3/4 socket on there and finish from there. Okay. All right, so cable's cut. Just let everybody know. I mean, I use these 10 snips to cut it off. This thing was a pain to cut. I'm telling you, it is. It's definitely some really strong wire. So when you're in there snipping it, be patient because it is pretty strong wire. It took me about 20-30 seconds to kind of work it to get it cut, but it will cut. Just take your time. All right, so now I'm gonna get a 3/4 socket and loosen that sucker off. All right, there it is. So it is loose. If you'll notice too, this whole thing is loose now. That's why they have those alignment tools. Because once you pull all this stuff off, you really don't know, you know, in the scheme of things here, see if I can find it, where neutral is. I mean, you're really kind of guessing where neutral is. So anyway, now that that's disconnected, I'm gonna go over here, finish pulling this through. Okay. And all right. There's the piece that disconnected, and you'll see here this little guy comes out. This is your chance to clean all this stuff out. Look in here. Isn't that gross? What is that back there? I don't know. But anyway, now's your chance, right? Get all this stuff cleaned up. So I'm going to pause the video, clean this up real good, and then we will start the reinstall of the video. So I poured a little bit of CLR in there, and I can tell you just a quick observation I'm seeing now. This actually moves. This little lever here moves a lot more effortlessly. So it seems like a good idea so far. I just went in there and dabbed a little bit with the CLR. So here in a bit, I'll finish doing whatever I'm going to do with this, and then I will put that cable back on. All right, so hopefully you didn't rip the cable completely out after you cut it. I'll show you why it's important that you don't do that. So there's two ends here. This end is going to stay towards the stern drive, and this side goes into the engine compartment. So the easiest way is get some duct tape. All right, and then take this end and just go ahead and get some duct tape around it temporarily. Okay, just like that. All right, so the reason you want to do that is as you're pulling one cable out, you are essentially pulling the other one back through. All right, so now you see I've done that. Now I'm going to come over here, and you can see I'm slowly walking this through.
Go.
Okay, so you can see the trick here. As I'm pulling one cable through, ta-da! The new one is through. Now you would do this if, you know, the same way if it was installed. You know, if this was installed on your boat, and make it a lot easier. So just remember before you pull it through, take the new cable and tape it to the old one, just like I did there, and work its way through. And you're going to see too, you got this little covering here. This keeps it from getting banged around inside. You just need to go ahead and install that back once you get the new cable installed. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this duct tape here and show you the next part. All right, guys. So when you go to screw this 3/4 in, you're gonna find that it wants to turn the entire cable. So for this part, you need to go in the boat and you need to get someone to help you do this, because otherwise you're not going to be able to do it. It's just going to be impossible to turn the whole cable from down here. So if you see down here, say hi, little helper.
Hi.
All right, so my little helper, watch, as I'm turning counterclockwise, she's going to turn clockwise, and watch how much easier it is to turn this. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and turn. All right, so you guys can see I'm doing this, well, we're doing this with one hand. Now watch, I'm gonna have her stop. Now watch, I'm gonna try to turn this thing by myself. And it's not turning. So bottom line is, guys, you need a partner to do this. Otherwise, forget about it. You're not gonna be able to do it, all right? So that's how you get this bolt started. Have you and your partner turn the same direction, and you'll be able to get this through. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threads. So that's how you do it. So I ended up using a crescent wrench to tighten the rest of it up. You could probably use a crow's foot, 3/4 crow's foot if you want. But I use this crescent wrench in there, and with the help of me and my little partner here, we tighten this thing up nice and tight. And now at this point, we're gonna go ahead and flip it back over and work on this end.